I'm Brendan O'Carroll. I'm the writer, creator, and the face behind Mrs. Brown's Boys, or Mrs. Brown.
Come in, come in. I'm just making some brown bread. It's my mother's recipe. It's a secret. What do you want, Grandad?
I'm too weak to get down the stairs.
Well, use the lift. I'm in the kitchen on the second floor beside the swimming pool.
Trying to explain Mrs. Brown's Boys is really like trying to get a toothpaste back in the tube. It's not easy. She's a 70-year-old-ish woman who has 6 children. Well, she says 5 children and a daughter. The youngest of them will be 30, but she treats them all like they're 5 years of age. She's no intention of letting them out of her sight. For the boys, there's not one woman that they marry will ever be good enough for them. Not as good as their mammy. And as far as her daughter's concerned, any more than 2 boyfriends in a year and she's a slut. And that's basically the premise of it. You know, she continually decides to interfere in their lives.
Mammy, as I said, we all need to just butt out.
I want to be involved. I want to be a leader, Cathy. I want to be like the man in Iran, Mahmoud, my mama, Jibadai, get back up again.
Mammy, of all people, you stay out of this. I mean it. Promise me you won't interfere.
Okay. Me interfere?
She's abolished sex. No, she's not. I swear to God, not even a life prisoner would masturbate to Mrs. Brown. No, she's attractive in a very kind of a. She's not attractive at all, actually. She looks like a man dressed up as a woman, really. And when I am playing Mrs. Brown, I shave off my moustache so I don't look like my mother. She's a lovable character. She's very much a mammy, and she's the kind of mammy you wouldn't mind having yourself.
Biscuit, Maria.
Thank you.
I cut the edges off so they fit in the mug.
The children that we'll see in this series are her eldest son, Mark, who's married to Betty, and they have 1 child, Bono.
Paddy, what's up? Is Bono all right?
Well, look who it is. What's wrong? No date tonight?
Bono's just coming to school age now. He's getting to the stage where he's asking awkward questions like, where do children come from and that. Mrs. Brown says Dublin. Then below him is Rory, who's Mrs. Brown's gay son. Now, she doesn't really realise he's gay, because she doesn't really know what gay is. She calls him her gentle son.
Now, don't you go getting some girl into trouble.
And then there's her daughter, Cathy. Cathy and Mammy are kind of nearly like alike, except Cathy has an education. Mammy hasn't. And Mrs. Brown would expect Cathy to be very strong all the time. So she doesn't give any leeway to Cathy that she would generally give to the other boys.
Cathy, I'd be lost without you this last couple of days.
Next in line is Dermot. He's the next eldest. Dermot's, as you'll see in the series, about to get married to the beautiful Maria.
Dermot, you're home just in time. Maria has something she wants to tell you.
You have?
Yeah. I hope you and your mother be very happy together.
Keep it short, keep it short.
Now get stuffed!
And then there's Trevor, Trevor is away on the missions. He's joined the priesthood and is away at the moment. I think he's in Rwanda, where Mrs. Brown misses him desperately.
It was Father Quinn who helped my son Trevor when he wanted to go away in the missions. He's in Africa now. Oh, the Chinese love him.
So that's the Brown family. So let me equate, and her next door neighbour and her only confidant, really, she's the only person she really talks to, tells her secrets to, is Winnie. So let me run down the family as family. The eldest son, Mark, is not family, although Pepsi Shields, who plays Mark, has been working with me 19 years. So I think I gave him a biscuit back then, and he just won't leave me alone. He follows me everywhere. He's married, in the series, he's married to Betty. And Betty is actually my daughter-in-law. She wasn't always my daughter-in-law, obviously. But my son, when he joined the series, when he joined the show, fell in love with Betty and married her. So she's now my daughter-in-law. And then down to Rory. Rory is not family per se, but he's more family than family. Rory's with me 21 years now, working together. And then there's Cathy, who I saw in a play 15 years ago. And I had just written my first play, and I saw her in another play, and I asked her to be in my play. She came and joined us. After about 2 weeks, I thought I'd made a huge mistake. Very serious girl, takes herself very serious. And I don't take things serious at all. She does. So I didn't think it was going to last more than 2 or 3 weeks, but she hung on, and I tolerated her. And 5 years ago, I married her. It's the only way to shut them up, it really is. And then after, so that's my wife, obviously. And then after her, then comes Dermot. Now, Dermot is not family, but he is family in that Dermot's been living around our house since he's about 8 or 9 years of age, and grew up to be a great actor. And I remember when he was 8 or 9 years of age, my son Danny, who was his best friend, used to come in and say, "Dad, Dermot's going, Paddy Houlihan is his name. Paddy's going to be an actor." And I used to go, "Right." And I say, "Son, if ever there was a chap who was never going to be an actor, it's Paddy. Really, he is brutal." As it turns out, I got it completely wrong. He, at 18 years of age, he came and played a part in one of my plays called The Course, and he played the comedy lead in it, and he stole the show, playing a 35-year-old country bumpkin, and he was brilliant. Paddy is, I suppose, family. He's been with us since he left school. And then there's Buster Brady. He's played by Danny and my son. Danny was 15 when he joined us. We found out at 15 that Danny was dyslexic, as I am myself, and as my youngest son is. And I'm not going to do the dyslexic joke about, you know, fella, the pimp who bought a warehouse. We found out that he was dyslexic, and he couldn't really finish school from 15 on unless he got some special needs training, which the school couldn't provide and wouldn't let me provide privately. So he came out of school and said, "Listen, I can read. That's all I need to do to be an actor, Dad." Which I suppose is right. Even some of the actors I know that can't even read. Dreadful here. Some can't even speak. But anyway, so that summer I put his headshot out to all the casting directors I knew, and I said, "Now, this will show you how tough it is, son. You watch how humiliating it is to be told time and time again that you didn't get the gig." And he got every gig he went for. So the message completely backfired on me. And at 16 years of age, he joined the show. Now, I say joined the show. He joined the show sweeping the stage. And then he went from that to doing wardrobe, and then he went from that to doing props and stage manager. And then he went from that to doing lights, sound. So by the time he stood on the stage, about 4 years later, he knew exactly what everybody had to do to make him look good on the stage. And then there's my daughter Fiona, who plays Dermot's wife, Maria, or wife-to-be Maria. Fiona came out of college, took a year out, and when she was taking the year out, the girl I had playing Maria in the play was leaving us. So I said, "Well, why don't you step in and just do the year on the road?" And she's been with us ever since. And that was 12 years ago. So my daughter plays my daughter-in-law. My other daughter-in-law plays a daughter-in-law. My son, Danny, plays my son in the play's next best mate. My sister plays Winnie McGugan. Thanks to a guardian angel called Stephen McCrum. He was the producer. He's a producer with BBC, and he saw the show and followed us around. He might be gay. Followed us around and asked us would we develop it to a pilot first of all. We said yes, but we all laughed behind his back. And we did the pilot script, and then when we made the pilot, we were surprised to get offered the series. But I know, in all seriousness, that single-handedly he pushed this all the way to the top in the BBC to get this made. And if this gets broadcast, and I don't know if it will or not, we've made it, but I don't know if it's not on yet. If it gets broadcast and it becomes in any way successful at all, it will be not down to the quality of the comedy, it'll be not down to the actors, it'll be not down to anything else, only his pure persistence. I couldn't find anybody else who'd play the part. So I played it myself. And it gives me the horn.
You can do anything with words. That's what my husband used to say. He was great with words. If the children were listening, he spelled them. You know, he'd say, Agnes, do you want to go up S-T-I-I-R-S?
Oh, nice.
For the fuck.
The best thing about dressing up as Mrs. Brown is, beyond any shadow of a doubt, she gets away with things that there's no way I would get away with. So whatever it is about, you know, looking like a fit 35-year-old man, you're laughing at, compared to, you know, a 75-year-old Mrs. or 70-year-old Mrs. Brown who doesn't give a shit, she gets away with murder.
You know you were saying about us two marrying our best friend?
Yes.
Well, I didn't marry me best friend. I moved in beside her.
I wonder who that feckin' was. Good night, friends.